So certainty of close is huge. It's not always the highest price that gets the contract signed. It's the best value.
What's the number one secret in today's marketplace to find deals that actually make sense, right? When it comes to value add, forced appreciation, multifamily properties, where are you finding them? How are you finding them? And maybe you can give us a live deal that you recently closed that you're closing now.
Sure. So right now, multifamily is extremely popular. Demand is high all across the country. And for the type of deals that I'm looking for, which are really, I'll say $3 to $25 million properties, it's all about brokers. It's broker relationships, knowing brokers at a personal level, communicating with them often, being clear with them on what you're looking for, why you're looking for it, what your plan is, and then having them trust you and believe that you can close. So certainty of close is huge. It's not always the highest price that gets the contract signed. It's the best value, which is a combination of price and certainty of close and terms of the contract, as far as how much money you're putting hard when. So all those factors. But I know there are some people out there cold calling sellers or potential sellers, but that's a tough road, and I've never had success at it personally.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do what's working, right? Do what works to your strengths and what's worked so far. You had something else to add to that?
Yeah, and you asked for an example. So there's a broker that I sold a property through in Boston about probably 4 years ago, and I'm not really looking to acquire in Boston on a primary. I mean, I would for a good deal, but I still keep in touch with them, and we're friends, and we sort of talk maybe every 2 weeks or once a month about the market, about interest rates, just about how his property is doing, about our kids. And he heard that I was selling one of my properties in Boston and looking in North Carolina. And he had a business contact who was selling something in North Carolina. He acted as the intermediary. I got an offer in before it went to market. And kind of putting everything together now, and we're closing in 30 days. So I would never have got that property if I waited for it to go to market and just was one of who knows, a dozen people that were offering asking price, which is what I did. I offered asking price, and it was the relationship. I mean, 100%.
Hands down, that makes perfect sense. And by the way, I would also kind of connect the dots here with a statement that goes like this. We're actually not in the business of buying real estate or selling real estate or selling a tax deferral strategy. We're actually in the business of solving problems, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So if you apply that at the heart of it, right? At the heart of it, the outcome are those things, right? But at the heart of it is solving problems. And if you apply that to the way, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but if I'm thinking correctly with what you were saying, your primary way of buying and finding deals is through relationships, and also through commercial real estate world. What's the number one problem for the commercial real estate brokers world, or the broker who has the deal? Well, it's certainty of the buyer performing, right? Now, absolutely. The second one might be the lender actually lending, right? Because those are the two most important people in the deal.
And those are tied together, right? I mean, certainty of the buyer performing is really wrapped right up in his lender relationships, or their lender relationships, his or her lender relationships. So yeah, that broker is going to sell the property. He's not worried about it selling. He's worried about it selling to someone who can close, and not having to resell it in 60 days when the whole thing falls apart.
Exactly. And then you lose the momentum, you lose out on the multiple offers, you lose out on whatever, achieving that price, the market falls apart, interest rates go up.
You might lose out on the sale, right? His seller may say, hey, I trust you to vet the buyers, and now I'm going to go to a different sales broker.
Exactly. So yeah, their number one problem, it would be certainty of buyer performance and execution. So excellent.